This is
This is
our
our
second.
second here,
Okay, very cool.
but we all work together.
Nice. Cool. So my name's Virginia, and I'm a land surveyor, and so are my three friends here. And one of the things that we do as land surveyor, I'd say like the main specific thing is help people identify and lay out their property boundaries, show them the land that they own, the limits of that land. We also create topographic maps showing elevation, and we also create maps showing existing conditions of what an area might look like for engineers to design off of. So when you were putting together your city and designing it, how did you use land surveying when creating your city?
Well, we did use land surveying because our river flows along our city, and we wanted this to be able to separate the residential and commercial areas, but we also wanted it to be accessible from every part of our city. So we had to scope out a way that our river could be accessible, and then we really just put that in here and made it work.
And as you were talking about topography, correct? Our winter is actually elevated so that we can get a start to the river, and so we can have buildings underneath it. So we had to make the winter elevated, so it's like a hilly area.
Anything else?
So, did you create a base map in 2D using a grid or any other pattern to lay
We
out?
did. So right here, this was our population density map.
Okay.
Right, so we made sure that this would be like where most people live, and in our farms, as you can see along the edges, is where not many people live. So we planned this out before we started building it, just to make sure we knew where people were gonna live, right?
Sure.
And then right here is what we planned on it looking like, which is what we made it look like.
Okay. And as you laid out that grid, did you use a scale? Did you define how big?
Our scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet.
So if this is like 4 inches, that means this would be like 80 feet tall, 9 feet tall.
Very good. And your scale is the same in the vertical dimension as in the horizontal dimension?
Yeah. So like our weather machine is up to scale, because if you think of this like Apple Valley, Egan, say Burnsville, and Lakeville, then this would be like 5 miles an hour. So it's like, yeah.
And as you laid things out, did you find there were things that you needed to modify that scale in order to?
Yes.
Very good.
All right, so my name's Robin. I'm a Pine County Surveyor, and we all love what we do. So I'm making a pitch here, okay? So when it comes to a point in your life where you just want to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life, employment-wise, at least look into what land surveying is. Okay, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but everybody, us four here, we love what we do. We've always loved what we do, and we've done it forever. So how cool would it be to find a job that you actually enjoy your entire life, right? It'd be way cool. It'd be way cool. So I'm just pitching that. So when it comes around, just look into it, see what it is. If it fits what you're thinking, maybe you look into it a little deeper, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. All right, so I'm done with my pitch. So when you're building your model, right, did you follow the measurements from your two-dimensional plan or your two-dimensional map to the actual physical model? And if you did that, how does that work?
Yeah.
We did like modify it a little bit because as on our population map, you can see how big like our industrial zone is, and it's not as big as we like wanted it to be, so we made it a little smaller.
Right, exactly.
Some zones were created larger than we had them on the map, and then some were a little smushed. Just depending on like how we laid it out and then how we put that onto our thing, making it with like actual materials.
Right, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Doing your research, did you utilize any like satellite imagery or any aerial imagery to help, decide kind of how you want to lay this all out?
Well, we were mainly just thinking a lot about the infrastructure of how we'd have because in most cities, there'd be a bunch of buildings, schools, hospitals, and then on the other side, there'd be like small homes and then industrial. So we were mainly going on
Okay, so what were you utilizing like Google Earth like that to look at any cities nearby to kind of see how they're kind of broken up in different sections, or?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I did for the, you know, the Egan Mall, right?
Yeah.
Or one of those malls. It kind of looks like this, right? So I tried to scope out a view on top to see what it would look like, so that I could make these stores and then the walkways and the roads in front. That's the only thing that I used it for.
So you could like utilize it with the rest of the city, commercial and residential areas.
What does this do?
So that is our geodesic dome, and it encases our entire city so we can have the 4 climates without any the actual weather infiltrating in.
So there's like an atmosphere from the inside and an atmosphere on the outside, and we don't want it to see.
Interesting.
Cool.
Do you have a moving part?
Yes, that's our train.
Ah.
So the train will get you anywhere you want in the city. From.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm also curious, do you have, what I specifically do as a land surveyor is I work for a wind and solar developer, and we go out and we create maps of what the land looks like before we develop solar. So I'm just curious, do you have any solar or wind on your project?
Yeah, actually all of these blue panels shown are solar panels. And there are solar panels on top of most of them.
We also have solar panels on top of our industrial buildings, and we also have wind turbines.
Nice.
To power those buildings.
Cool.
Okay, so next year, you ready? All your solar, you're gonna say this, all your solar panels face what direction? Southerly.
Yep.
Okay? Right, you'll get points.
Which
right?
way is north on here now?
Program to track the sun.
No, that's their program to track the sun. If you have a moving panel, then it'll follow.
Can I take some
Otherwise,
photos?
Yeah.
very good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can I take one of you
I
guys?
have to mention that
Stay
our
again.
property collector side